She exercises every morning, jogging, push-ups, squats. She eats a healthy breakfast, oats, eggs, spinach, and dinner, chicken, broccoli, rice. She diets, keto, vegan, paleo, just as the doctor ordered. She's tired, she aches, she's hungry, exhausted, she sleeps, but every morning the scales never change. She tries to ignore it, but for my wife Grace, she is a prisoner of her own belly fat. A 46-year-old mother of 3, trapped inside her own body. Her shoulders slumped as the realization set in she was going to be overweight for the rest of her life. Grace looked up at me, and in tears she uttered 5 words I don't think I'll ever forget. "I can't live like this," she said. "I've never felt so helpless in all my life. I was angry at the doctors whose diets and exercise has done nothing. Angry at God for letting this happen to the woman I loved. Angry at myself for not being able to do anything to help her. But I didn't know how. So why am I sharing this story with you today? What happened next is very painful for me to tell. But it forced me to go on a journey that changed everything in my life and the life of tens of thousands of women and men around the world. That led to my discovery of a 5-second water hack from a tiny Malaysian island, one so powerful it would completely transform my 46-year-old wife's life, support a healthy heart, arteries, and blood sugar levels, and after years of failed diets and feeling hopeless, melt away 2 pounds overnight, and in just a matter of weeks, lose 62 pounds of raw, ugly fat from all over her body, arms, face, hips, and thighs, going from this to this, relieving her of the debilitating feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression that were ruining her health, while restoring the energy, hope, sex drive, and zest for life that she thought she would never enjoy again, leaving her doctor speechless and every overweight woman and man desperate to know her secret. You see, despite what you've been told, the real cause of your increasing belly and body fat has nothing to do with how much you diet, starve yourself, or deprive yourself of your favorite foods, how much grueling exercise you do, how much sugar or carbohydrates you eat, your thyroid, hormones, or metabolism, or even genetics, or the aging process. That's what they want you to believe, that you're broken, that is your fault. But it's not your fault. Instead, it's all down to this: a dangerous foreign compound swimming in your bloodstream right now. This is forcing your body to store more and more fat that scientists have found is abundant in every woman and man, especially those over 40 years of age, who are finding it impossible to lose and keep fat off their body. And according to new groundbreaking research by a team at Sterling University, Scotland, is the real root cause of why we gain weight and America's obesity crisis. But fear not. By using my discovery of the simple, forbidden 5-second water hack, which I'm about to reveal on the short video, known only to the inhabitants of a small, barely populated Malaysian island, 8,900 miles from home, you can quickly target this dangerous foreign compound and stop your body from storing excess weight. A truth hidden by the weight loss industry, whose entire business relies on you never losing a single pound. And yes, this discovery has nothing to do with ab crunches, fasting, counting calories, dieting, or even gastric bypass surgery, and extreme cardio routines like CrossFit, P90X, or insanity. Instead, it's just a simple Malaysian 5-second water hack once a day. Grace still ate all her favorite foods like brownies, pizza, cheesecake, and ice cream. In fact, eating these foods is recommended. This 100% safe and natural 5-second ritual that turned my wife's life around and gave her back her lean, sexy, and stress-free body is something too important to hide. And until now, that's been the problem. This simple hack has been right under our noses and been kept from us by the folks we trust to make us better. But not anymore, because in the next 3.5 minutes, I'm going to share with you why everything you thought you knew about belly fat and how to lose it is flat out wrong. You are going to be filled with disgust when you hear a weight loss industry insider break his code of silence and reveal the 3 biggest weight loss lies touted by doctors and fitness experts around the world. And in the real reason why every diet or exercise plan you do may work for a bit, but will always fail. I will reveal the identity of the deadly foreign compound, the real cause of your uncontrolled belly fat, and the clinically proven ancient 5-second water hack that you can do tonight to tackle this foreign toxin, which will, while you are sleeping this very night, start burning off stubborn, ugly body fat and support healthy joints, healthy arteries, and blood sugar levels. Plus, all the peer-reviewed studies that prove how this works. The truth is, you and your doctor simply do not know about this simple and all-natural, unconventional breakthrough. It is so effective that it's already worked for over 166,304 people, and this number is steadily increasing. I even used this hack myself and lost 28 pounds. I can fit into my 32-inch jeans for the first time in 11 years, and I can see my abs again. I feel incredible. Diana M. Barely left her home for fear of being judged about her weight or that she might not fit into chairs, doorways, or public transport. Skeptical, she decided to try out this trick for herself. Within a few weeks, she lost 49 pounds. Plus, she boosted her energy and now regularly travels on the bus and shops and tries on clothes in the mall stress-free. I felt like such a turnoff to my husband, she writes, but now he can't keep his hands off me. James R., a 61-year-old retired doctor from Parkman, Ohio, was doing everything in his medical degree that taught him and was still piling on the pounds. I couldn't believe it when my grandson Neil asked me, "Grandpa, why is your tummy so squishy?" I had to do something when I heard of your water hack and verified all your research. I knew I had to try it out. I've lost 34 pounds of fat so far, and it keeps on melting right off. My storing has disappeared. I feel fitter and happier than I did in my 30s. Marianne F. said, "Ever since using the hack every day, I'm still eating what I want, but I'm down 41 pounds. I feel so pretty now and no longer fear how my weight affects those around me. Every day my inbox is full of new success stories from people who have had amazing results just like these. And just as I can promise the sun will rise tomorrow morning, so can I promise this will work for you too. Whether you're male or female, 18 or 80 years of age, whether you are 10 pounds or 100 pounds overweight and have been for 10 weeks or 10 years, whether you've tried every single diet, exercise, or gym program out there, or simply are worried about future health complications. I don't expect you to believe me yet. You may be feeling skeptical, but if you're ready to get the real truth about weight loss, you've turned exactly to the right place. It's absolutely crucial that you keep watching until the very end while you still have the chance, because I honestly don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this presentation online. In the US alone, the weight loss industry is worth $80 billion. That's billion with a B. Full of impossible diet plans, shakes, meal deliveries, gym memberships, extreme cardio sessions, and more. And the weight loss industry is scared because what I'm about to reveal could destroy their business model overnight. The very same cash cow that will never help you lose weight and keep it off, but keep you a customer for life. The last thing they want is for you to see what I'm about to show you. This information could save your life or the life of someone you love. So listen up, because we don't have much time. Today, I'm offering you the chance to effortlessly lose stubborn body fat, to never worry about deadly health complications, to never worry about what the public thinks about your size or what your husband or wife really thinks about your naked body, but is too scared to tell you. To never worry about people smirking at you or judging you, to be free of the guilt and shame around your eating and what people think of what you're eating. Instead, you eat all your favorite foods when you want, guilt-free. You shed pounds of pure fat like clockwork from your belly, arms, hips, waist, and face. You support your new healthy arteries, heart fertility, joints, and bone strength, and melt deadly, visceral fat around your organs. You slip into skin-tight, sexy clothing, the kind you could never have dreamed of before. You restore your energy, vitality, elasticity of your skin, and turbo boost your sex drive. And you feel younger, healthier, happier, and more energetic than you have in years, even decades. It's time to free yourself from the prison of belly fat once and for all. Does that sound good to you? So close the door, get a pen and paper, and make sure you stick this video out until the very end, because I promise you, you can melt away pounds of stubborn fat with nothing more than this glass of water and my bizarre once a day 5-second water hack. Yes, it really is that easy. It's time I introduced myself properly. Hello, my name is Morgan Hurst. I'm no doctor, I'm no nutritionist, I'm no guest lecturer at Yale University. You know what I am. I'm you. I'm a real person. I'm a 47-year-old firefighter, and I live with my wife, Grace, and our 3 kids in Denver, Colorado. I've protected my community, their homes, and their lives for over a decade. I helped lead the efforts in the Spring Creek Fire of 2018 and Wolf Creek Pass Fire of 2013, but I know what it feels like to lose control. The same way a fire can turn on you any moment, your body can too. And that's what happened to Grace. Grace's story is one that is very personal and embarrassing, but will be familiar to you. It started about 15 years ago when she became pregnant with our first child, Daryl. We were your average, happily married 30-somethings, enjoying life like the majority of people, taking our health for granted pretty much every day. Grace had been an all-star track champion in her teens, an athlete her whole life. It was one of the things that made me fall in love with her. But during Daryl's pregnancy, she put on about 30 pounds, which never went away. Then our next child, Kirsty, came along, and on went another 20 pounds. After our third child, she was already 70 pounds heavy. Every time she looked down, grabbing her belly, I could see her feel shame and guilt for letting herself go like this and not doing anything about it. She went to see Dr. Matthews, who was very concerned about Grace's health and warned us we needed to do something before her health deteriorated even more or worse. So surprise, surprise, he recommended a calorie-controlled diet and exercise. And although we didn't realize it at the time, this moment would mark the beginning of a 10-year nightmare. Because after the hope and enthusiasm with every new diet came the crushing disappointment when it would inevitably fail and the weight came back plus a little more. I mean, Grace tried everything to lose the stubborn fat. Vegetarian, low carb, keto, paleo, fasting, special teas, even hypnosis. We spent thousands on meal plan deliveries, home gym equipment, gym memberships, ab crunchers, and not to mention the fitness classes like CrossFit, Zumba, Insanity, P90X, and more. And I'm not going to tell you that these strategies didn't work. They did work for a while, but like so many people, Grace couldn't stick to any of them. And every time Grace felt upset or bad, she turned to comfort food, and the diet was over. As the years rolled by, Grace's energy levels, vitality, mood, and general health and well-being went rapidly downhill. You see, I know exactly what you are going through. The shame, the pants that don't fit, the binging, the scale, anxiety. I get it, because I saw Grace live these feelings every day. But still, we trusted the doctors, and although Grace's diets and exercise were supposed to help, she piled on more and more weight as she found herself unable to fight the intense cravings for sugary and starchy foods that overpowered her every day. And the more weight she put on, the more depressed she became, and the further away she drifted from the woman I'd fallen in love with. On top of it all, our sex life had completely gone. We found ourselves slipping into a long, boring routine of going to work, watching TV, and going to bed while feeling constantly tired, depressed, and unhappy, and dissatisfied. Until one night with Grace asleep upstairs, I found myself browsing Instagram, looking at slim, sexy women in their bikinis on beaches. I felt so guilty, but I couldn't help myself. I wondered why I didn't find Grace as sexy as these women. I wished to God I did, but I didn't. I felt so bad that I turned off my iPad and went upstairs to show her how much I loved her, no matter what she looked like. Don't touch me, I'm fat and disgusting, and I'm always going to be fat and disgusting. I don't want you to touch me, she yelled, when I reached out to hold her, to kiss her, to show her I cared. Seeing her embarrassed, laying there, grabbing her belly fat she hated so much, I felt powerless and weak in a way I never thought I could. That night, I lay awake for hours next to Grace, staring at the ceiling and feeling my heart constrict in my chest, imagining life without my wife. I had vowed to take care of her, So I made a promise to myself. I was going to do everything in my power to defeat her belly fat for good, whatever it took. I was going to fix her. I was going to make her love herself and her body again. And I was going to do it without diet or exercise. After all, the reason for most of her health problems over the last 10 years had been because of the diets and exercises she'd been torturing herself with. Because that's when her health really began to worsen. The thought of losing Grace too soon broke my heart. She was my rock. So that night, I got on my tablet when she'd fallen asleep and began my mission. I started my research with our fat cells. You see, when fat cells grow, they release a hormone called leptin. You may have already heard of leptin. It controls our hunger and how full we feel. When leptin levels are low, we feel hungry and crave calories. When leptin levels are high, we feel full and satisfied. Sounds simple enough, but problems arise when something called leptin resistance happens. Take a look at this image. I'm sure this cycle sounds familiar. You eat your food, that's at the top there. Excess energy from food is converted into fat and stored in our fat cells. As fat cells expand, they release leptin, signaling your body to stop eating. It is here when naturally you should stop eating and feel full and satisfied, put the knife and fork down and maintain a slim, sexy figure, but instead, leptin resistance occurs. As your body is resisting leptin signals, the brain never gets the message, you're full. Instead, you continue to feel hungrier and hungrier, even though you're eating more and more, until at the end, you've eaten that entire cake. You've wolfed down that whole bag of chips. You feel guilty, you feel sick, you feel tired, but you still don't feel entirely full or satisfied. You've gone from feeling hungry to feeling sick and tired. And a short time later, the cycle starts all over again. This is the exact cycle that Grace had been in for years. And the same cycle you and other women or men struggling with weight loss are in right now. That's a scientific fact. You see, it's not your fault you took just 1, 2, or 3 more slices of pizza or decided to finish off that tray of cookies. You don't lack willpower. It's all down to your inability to turn off your hunger. But what causes leptin resistance? Well, couldn't find a single precise and distinctive answer on exactly why it happens in the first place, and why this has started only in the last 50 years. Look at this graph. Overweight people barely existed in the 1950s. Dr. Matthews himself stated that the medical industry isn't exactly sure where leptin resistance comes from, only why it is bad for us and that is increasing at a rapid rate. A recent report published by OECD based in Paris, France, predicts that 75% of all American adults will be obese and leptin resistant by 2020 if things don't change. You may be thinking that it's because we're eating more, right? Well, remember that cycle of leptin resistance. Leptin resistance causes overeating and therefore more fat, not the other way around. So if your overeating was simply a symptom of leptin resistance, what was the cause? How do you or Grace get leptin resistance before all the weight gain began? For weeks, I devoured everything the library had to offer. I read through hundreds of dusty old medical journals. I visited universities, spoke to doctors, endocrinologists, alternative therapists, and even Chinese herb doctors for help. But I found nothing new. Just the same old tired advice of eat less, exercise more, and count calories. Advice that you or any other person struggling with weight loss listening to my story today has heard a million times before. I felt like I'd hit a brick wall, and after weeks of research, I was nowhere. Until I had left online posts on forums and message boards requesting any information that could help Grace. I spoke with a man I'll call Jonah, who has asked to remain anonymous to protect his identity. For 10 years, Jonah had been working at America's biggest weight loss brand with an annual revenue of over $1 billion. You know, the kind that ship you those healthy meals, shakes, and meal plans every month, until he became sick of what the weight loss industry had become and was fired for finally speaking up against his greedy CEOs and voicing his concerns. Over our call, he revealed to me the 3 biggest and closely guarded lies of the weight loss industry. And it was because, in his own words, the whole industry was a giant and deliberate fraud. which makes billions every year, not by helping you lose weight, but by actively making you fatter. As Jonah explained, the moment you feel your belly get a little squishy and your hips getting a bit wobblier, you're encouraged to stop eating so much food, stop eating carbohydrates, and restrict your calories. Sound familiar, right? But the big problem here is that from this moment on, your waist size and health is destined to only get worse, not better. After all, when was the last time you went on a diet and perhaps lost some weight and the weight stayed off forever? It's never happened, right? And this is the big weight loss lie number 1. Dieting helps you lose weight. In a huge study carried out by researchers at the University of Helsinki of 2,452 women and 2,227 men, researchers found that among both women and men, irregular eating and a history of dieting in order to lose weight were 2 of the key factors that actually led to weight gain, not weight loss. That's because, like our early ancestors, our bodies prevent weight loss following what they perceive to be a famine. When you diet, your body thinks you're starving and protects itself from holding on to weight. And the more diets you do, you are training your body to hold on to more and more weight. Sure, you may lose a couple pounds, but research shows 95% of all diets fail. And in fact, over 66% of people who diet end up putting on more weight within months of starting. Why? Because by dieting, not only are you training your body to hold on to fat, but the root cause of your weight gain has not been addressed. You are still craving food. Worse still, dieting more than once is proven to cause an increased risk of heart disease, osteoporosis, loss of strength, and thinning hair. To really lose weight and keep it off for life, you have to go after the root cause, leptin resistance. Not just treat the symptoms and live as a slave to your overweight body. That's why diet shakes and exercise plans are such a cash cow for the weight loss industry, because you are still trapped in the leptin resistance cycle. Weight loss companies make the most profit by having people completely stuck in the cycle for life. Trying fad after fad, diet after diet, it made complete sense. That's exactly what Grace had been doing for years. And according to a recent survey, the average American will spend over $111,500 in their attempt to lose weight over their lifetime. And that's just one person. It's big business, and a business that will fight to protect. Because their business model will be destroyed if the world finds out that they can break free and lose weight naturally without their useless diets and exercises. Next, Jonah revealed big weight loss lie number 2. This one shocked me. Exercise helps you lose weight. Jonah said that when you exercise, inflammation occurs in your body, and inflammation increases your body's production of the stress hormone cortisol. And guess what? Cortisol, just like starvation mode from dieting, tells your body to hold on to fat. This would explain not only your inability to lose weight as your body is constantly fighting fires inside of you, but it's also why you can actually gain weight from exercising too much because of all the compounding inflammation. Plus, in a 2009 study, they found that people who exercised actually increased their food intake, crushing their weight loss goals. In conclusion, there is no doubt exercise is healthy, but as a weight loss method, it is not a long-term solution. It is simply treating the symptom of your leptin resistance, your belly fat, rather than addressing the root cause of your hunger. And with that, Jonah revealed the big weight loss lie number 3. Slow metabolism causes weight gain. So, can a sluggish metabolism be blamed for weight gain? Believe it or not, overweight people actually have a higher metabolism than those of a healthy weight, and this increases as more weight is added. As someone gains more weight from storing more fat, the body needs to support that excess mass to carry it around. Imagine you had to live with a 45-pound weight tied around your waist. You would struggle to deal with this for the first few weeks, but over time, you would build up extra muscle, especially in your legs, to help you manage it. More muscle equals a higher metabolic rate at rest. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but Jonah was absolutely right. So if you thought that your lack of exercise caused your weight gain, if you thought that you didn't diet enough or have a slow metabolism, think again. They had no factor in why you are overweight today. They are not the true cause of leptin resistance. I know this because in just 1 minute I will reveal to you the real little-known cause of leptin resistance as a proven numerous clinical studies. A dangerous foreign chemical inside every person who struggles with weight loss, as well as the simple 5-second water trick you can do right now to target this toxin and stop storing fat. The truth? Leptin resistance can be addressed. Your belly fat, arm fat, hip fat, and thigh fat is reversible. It is not a life sentence. You see, after speaking to Jonah, I kept wondering, if dieting and exercise had done nothing and never would do anything to help Grace's overweight body, then what could? If the top 2 things that doctors and the entire weight loss industry had told us would help did nothing for her belly fat, or tackle its root cause, leptin resistance, then what would? Sadly, Jonah didn't have the answer, and I was close to giving up. That's when I discovered something that chilled me to the bone. I'm embarrassed to share this with you, but I feel I have to. Using Grace's laptop one night, I stumbled on some of her Google searches. Best ways to kill yourself, said one query. Painless suicide, said another. I had no idea Grace was feeling that low. I was desperate to help her, but didn't know how. The future looked bleak. But that very night, I received a phone call that would change everything. Not that I knew it at the time. I've always believed in God and prayed to Him practically every night for weeks, asking Him to help Grace. And I firmly believe that what happened next is proof that He was listening. The call came from my boss. I've been asked to lead an educational project in Malaysia. In 2016, they suffered nearly 3,000 forest and bushfires and were looking to learn more about how we manage our forest fires in the US. They needed an experienced man as a project supervisor, and with my experience, I was one of the top candidates. Given Grace's condition and state of mind, the timing couldn't have been worse, or so I thought. But unable to do anything about it, I set off for Malaysia, leaving Grace's sister in charge of her safety. I hated leaving her, but as it turned out, the men I would meet on that job would provide the answer to my prayers. And in the strangest of ways, right after my grueling 42 hours of traveling, I'm introduced to the firefighters I would be training, a group of 22 men from all over Malaysia. Among them was Ashraf Hadi and 5 other guys who were from a tiny Malaysian island called Langkawi. As the weeks went on, I came to realize these 6 guys, who were all in their mid-50s, didn't have an ounce of fat on them. They were slim, healthy, and full of energy. Every dinner we spent together, I would notice they would eat their plate of food, but then never eat again for the rest of the day. No second portions, no desserts, no snacks, even with the delicious plates of cakes, fried food, and candy bars that were available. Back home, I would never have seen it. We love our food and we keep eating and eating even after dinner. So that night, I took Ashraf to one side and I asked him, how do you have the willpower to not eat all this amazing food? I told him all about my wife's condition, her suicidal thoughts, and that I had nowhere else to turn. If you know anything that can help her, please tell me. I pleaded. Ashraf smiled, patted me on the shoulder, and told me to wait where I was. A few minutes later, he returned with a notepad and pencil and began to scribble down what looked like a recipe, complete with a list of strange plants and herbs, most of which I've never ever heard of. What's this? I asked him, looking down the list. The secret you've been searching for, he said, with a glint in his eyes. Our health is all down to these ingredients, he continued mysteriously. Obesity simply doesn't exist on our island. This recipe has been in my family for generations, he said. Eat these ingredients and your wife will be fine. With that, Ashraf stood up, gave me a knowing smile, and got back to work. Only then did I remember that Ashraf and his friends had this small leather bag containing a powdered mix of plants and that they would take 1 spoonful every day. I had asked to try it, but they said it was more valuable than gold and politely refused. The minute I returned home to the US, I began researching the ingredients from Ashraf's recipe. The first one was something called moreand thistle. What the heck was that? I thought. We actually know it is a milk thistle here in the US. According to research, milk thistle has an anti-aging effects and supports healthy cholesterol levels. But more importantly, it detoxifies BPA, a compound known as an endocrine disrupting chemical, or EDC. Now, stay with me here because this is where it gets very interesting. BPA is found all over the world, in cans of food, plastics, sports drinks, and more. Scientists are only just beginning to understand why man-made chemicals like BPA are so harmful. It's believed once you come into contact with them, they enter our bloodstream and disrupt our delicate body functions. And I wasn't sure what that had to do with belly fat until I began to search deeper and struck gold. I studied by a team at the Department of Neuroscience in Ontario, Canada, less than 2 years ago. With barely a single view found by giving mice low doses of BPA, far lower than deemed safe by the US Food and Drug Administration, they became resistant to leptin. Their food intake was never suppressed, and they quickly put on weight. Incredible. But BPA is only one of many endocrine disrupting chemicals in our environment. TBT is found in paint, pesticides, and vinyl products. And a new March 2019 study published in Frontiers in Endocrinology has directly linked it to leptin resistance too. What about PFOA, endocrine disruptor found in Teflon, cookware that soaks into your food as you cook? Well, a study published in Molecular and Cellular Endocrinology linked PFOA to leptin resistance as well. In fact, recently, the American Medical Association, the National Institutes of Health, and White House Task Force on Childhood Obesity declared endocrine disrupting chemicals an immediate danger to America's waistlines. Since then, study after study, like those published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, Toxicological Sciences, even Dr. Oz have linked without a doubt endocrine disrupting chemicals to leptin resistance. We now know it's not because of your diet or how much exercise you do, nor your age, nor your genetics, or metabolism. Your food cravings have been scientifically unstoppable because of the invisible EDCs swimming in your bloodstream right now, causing havoc in every cell on your body. Well, what if we just moved to another part of the US or even abroad to escape them? But EDCs are everywhere, in every country on the earth. They are inescapable. They are in the air we breathe, our fruits, our meals, our cereals. They are even in our tap water. In fact, the USA has one of the highest levels of EDCs in tap water in the world, with over 76 different EDCs detected. Scary. Remember this graph. We see obesity and leptin resistance started around the 1950s. Now look at this graph of EDC exposure over time by a team at Sterling University in Scotland. Look familiar? Notice the rapid incline at 1950 matches exactly when obesity spiraled out of control. The researchers at Sterling University concluded that the level of EDCs in our bodies directly correlated with how overweight we were, and that EDCs were the real reason for America's obesity epidemic. Finally, it all made sense. Simply put, these foreign chemicals are entering your bloodstream and disrupting your brain from detecting leptin, making you crave food more and more. And guess what? While the level of EDCs in Malaysia was one of the highest in the world, far higher than the US, I found out they actually had one of the lowest levels of overweight people. It must be because of these traditional plant ingredients they eat. It would explain why Ashraf and his guys, who even though they worked in Malaysia in an extremely toxic environment, never overate and didn't have an ounce of fat on them. As I finished reading, I felt like I wanted to cry. Not because I was sad, but because for the first time in years, I felt hope that I could actually help my wife and help us get our life and our relationship back on track. But don't go out and order a crate of milk thistle just yet. You see, next on Ashraf's list of craving crushers was apium graveolonius seed, which is shown to detoxify the EDC called DEHP, found in nearly all plastics. And then there was jujube that detoxifies the endocrine disruptor ZEA, and grape seed that cleanses the harmful EDC, cadmium found in vegetables, nuts, and cereals. It even supports healthy blood pressure, plus a whole host of other plants like alfalfa, a detoxifying flowering plant that replenishes vitamins and heals the liver. Chanca pedra, full of antioxidants that detoxifies EDCs, supports healthy inflammation responses, healthy kidney function, and digestive health. Taraxacum leaves, high in vitamin K, that protects bone health and cleanses the liver. Brassicas, a type of broccoli overflowing with a cysteine and nutrient needed to make glutathione, one of the body's most important antioxidants. Barberry, a plant abundant with berberine, which not only prevents fat storage, but supports healthy cholesterol levels and a healthy brain. In the end, Ashraf's recipe included 11 natural ingredients clinically proven to detoxify the body of every EDC that it exists on our planet today. In turn, addressing leptin resistance and stopping food cravings, while helping cleanse the kidneys and liver and supporting a healthy heart, brain, and joints. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Here were completely natural ingredients that had been scientifically proven to target the root cause of belly fat. Yet, not a single doctor or the weight loss industry had ever told my wife anything about them. All they wanted to do was keep selling her expensive diet plans, exercise routines, and medications. I was now more determined than ever to not only melt Grace's body fat, but help millions of others too. But I came across a big problem. It took me days to source all the ingredients from the recipes from all over the world. Thousands of dollars to buy them. Weeks to extract the potent seeds and leaves one by one. Then dry them out, grind them down, and measure them into the right required ratio. And by the time I was finished, I was exhausted, and I barely had enough of the mixture to last a few days. I understand now why Ashraf was so protective of his plant mixture, and why he kept it under lock and key. I needed a plan B. I reasoned that if I bought the ingredients in bulk and contacted a large, modern, and prestigious manufacturing facility in the USA that could do everything for me, I could produce this incredible craving-crushing recipe in the quantity I needed and in tiny, easy-to-swallow capsules as Grace requested. And while I was at it, take Ashraf's ancient recipe and improve it with modern science and technology. By doing that, I would be able to create a formula even more powerful than Ashraf's and give Grace a real shot at losing all her stubborn fat. Of course, without any medical training or experience, I needed help. Sonia Rhodes, a dedicated, independent medical researcher with over 29 years experience, had a personal interest in what I was doing. Her brother, husband, and even her 19-year-old son struggled with weight loss and were sick and tired of the failed diets and the health risks. Sonia was one of those rare people who exuded charisma, warmth, and intelligence. When we first met, she greeted me with a warm hug and a big smile. "Your research is completely correct," she said. "We all know that skinny person that never seems to put on weight. Well, they aren't special, they don't have a secret, they're just not leptin resistant yet. You see, we are all affected by EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals, at different rates based on our body type. That's why some people are hungrier and have a higher BMI more than others, and why you, Morgan, are only about 40 pounds overweight, but your wife is far more. In fact, women are affected by EDC-induced leptin resistance worse than men. The human body has not evolved to synthesize its own detoxifying nutrients to clear out this new threat. The EDCs, they've only been around for the past 70 years or so. So the only way to do this is with this incredible plants you've discovered. I'd love to help, she said. So Sonia took Ashraf's recipe of 11 natural ingredients and tested hundreds of different formulas and gauged what happened to leptin resistance. It took 6 months of research, but eventually Sonia found the perfect combination. Plus, Sonia had found another 11 amazing nutrients that would boost the power of the recipe even further. So you benefit not only from the detoxifiers, milk thistle, jujube seed, barberry, alfalfa, taraxacum leaves, and 6 more as we've already mentioned, but newly discovered detoxifying ingredients like an acetyl cysteine burdock root, choline, chicory root, methionine, feverfew, plus 5 more. That, if taken alone, would have little effect, but when formulated together and consumed once a day, would produce remarkable results. In total, 22 plant extracts and nutrients made this plant formula twice as powerful than the original recipe consumed by Ashraf and his family and friends. Sonia stated This new breakthrough addresses the one true cause of leptin resistance: endocrine disrupting chemicals. When you correct and target these toxins, you can naturally support your ability to feel full and satisfied after eating, so you will no longer feel hungry and will effortlessly drop pounds of fat. You'll support a healthy heart and blood sugar as your leptin resistance and food consumption is addressed. Nothing like this had ever been attempted before in the history of weight loss, and I literally couldn't wait to get started. And the best part was, because the proprietary blend is 100% natural and the facility where we produced our capsules is FDA registered and GMP certified, we didn't have to wait for approval. We just needed one willing patient to put the protocol to the test. And of course, that patient was Grace. It took every penny we had to produce a few weeks worth of our vegetable capsules for Grace to take once a day with a glass of water. Honestly, I could see how skeptical Grace was the first time I gave her a glass of water and a tiny plant-filled capsule. She looked at me like I was crazy. Still, I had to beg her to keep taking them once a day. She thought it was just another waste of time. After 7 days, she lost about 3 pounds, but we thought nothing of it until later that evening when something remarkable happened. We just finished dinner and I handed Grace the bowl to grab a second portion of food, a habit we'd gotten used to since she gained the weight. "No, I'm fine, thanks. I'm full," she said. What? I hadn't heard that in 10 years. We both looked at each other in shock, then burst out laughing. Remember, belly fat is simply a symptom of leptin resistance. Well, since she had tackled her leptin resistance, her cravings vanished, and the weight loss started melting off her like butter in a microwave. And still, she was eating cake, pizza, chocolate, and all her favorite foods. She didn't force herself to stop eating. She wanted to. She was full and satisfied after just a couple of bites of her favorite delicious treats. The way our bodies are naturally meant to function. It was like a gastric band had been fitted, and each day following was like a dream. Every morning her weight dropped. 1 pound, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 1 pound, but the best was yet to come. Day 21 was a sunny Sunday morning, and I'll remember it forever. I woke up to the loudest scream I've ever heard. Scared, I instinctively reached for my handgun in the nightstand, until the screams turned to laughter. I ran to the bathroom, where I saw Grace standing on the scales, tears rolling down her face. But this time, they weren't tears of guilt, of shame. They were tears of happiness, of joy. And soon enough, she was 62 pounds lighter, going from this to the slim and sexy lady I'm proud to call my wife today. Every single trace of her pregnancy fat had disappeared, and every day she was safely shedding pure belly fat, arm fat, chin fat. Her love handles disappeared. She was so excited to show me her jeans, falling off her hips in a way they hadn't in 25 years. Plus, she had so much more energy. She was sleeping better, she supported new healthy joints, and a pain-free body. Even her hair seemed thicker, fuller, and shinier than it had. Her fears of worsening health vanished. When we saw Dr. Matthews, he couldn't believe his eyes. He was speechless that she had lost all that weight, achieved it all by herself, naturally and safely, and without any stress. That evening, we threw all her diet food in the trash. What a great feeling. It was like a time machine taking us back 10 years before this nightmare began. But the most amazing thing was watching Grace's stomach, watching the belly fat she's been fighting for years and years shrink away to nothing, until one day I came home and saw her walking around the house in a sports bra and shorts, her beautiful flat belly on display. I was a little afraid to touch her at first, afraid she'd tell me not to. But when I wrapped my arms around her, she melted, tilted her head so I could kiss her neck, then smiled at me and told me to meet her in the bedroom. It was the most amazing, passionate night of my life, as we lay there naked, cuddling and laughing in love again, in a way we hadn't been for a long time. I had a huge smile across my face. I'd done it. I'd saved my wife. Grace had broken free from the cycle of leptin resistance. She was back in control of her own hunger. Neither of us could believe it. I was desperate to get the formula out to as many people as possible. But Sonia warned me that one person wasn't proof that it worked, and she was right. It may have worked for Grace, but would it work for everyone? I wanted to see if the formula would work on people who were suffering the most with uncontrolled hunger and weight gain. I decided to post ads online and in local newspapers asking for volunteers who might be willing to put our fat formula to the test. They had to be over 40 years old, overweight, and unable to lose weight no matter their diet or how much they exercised, tired, hungry, and fed up. After just 10 days, we had 45 people suffering from varying degrees of weight gain to put it to the test. The results were way more incredible than any of us could ever have imagined. Without exception, and within just a few weeks, all 45 volunteers reported dramatic drops in their hunger and cravings, and in turn, their weight. The average weight loss was 53 pounds. Energy levels soared. Dangerous visceral fat around organs vanished. Brain fog lifted. Aches and pains subsided. Stress disappeared. Sex drive returned and rocketed. They supported new healthy hearts, arteries, and blood pressure. Many reported seeking their abs for the very first time in their lives. A total of 97% of participants went on to lose over 59 pounds of fat. The other 3% lost over 40 pounds, but were no less overjoyed at the weight loss and health benefits they'd achieved. I received emails, phone calls, and text messages from people overwhelmed. Stuart C. Tried it out for myself. I used to take naps all day. I was that tired. I had sleep apnea too. I now have more energy. I'm no longer hungry all day, every day. And I've gone down 77 pounds. I feel supple and flexible for the first time in decades. Thank you so much. Audrey H. writes, I feel free again for the first time in 20 years. I used to have the lowest confidence and felt so isolated by my weight. Now I feel light and my joints feel so silky smooth to walk on. I've lost 62 pounds and it's all thanks to being back in control of my hunger. Thank you. Mary W. said, I was desperate to lose weight. I have been using this solution for 3 months since I started. I no longer have sugary cravings or carb cravings, especially at night. I'm sleeping better and I've been dropping 8 inches on my waist. My husband has even been complimenting my butt. I feel complete again and I'm expecting my first child this winter. Gabriella L. wrote, I've lost 13 kilograms. My job as a real estate manager means I have to do a lot of walking and I hated it. Walking up hills, getting sweaty and breathless and feeling heavy in front of my colleagues. Now I zoom up the hills, I feel so light and energetic. Lewis R. wrote me this. I used to be a food addict. It's crazy, I didn't realize how much my hunger affected my weight until it was gone. I feel like I've had a gastric bypass surgery. I've lost 54 pounds, my energy increased and my appetite decreased. I have a decreasing desire for food, especially sugar. My daughter offered me a sweet treat and I was able to say no. I had no strong desire for it. Previously, I would have pounced on any sugary treat. This was it. We'd done it. We developed a natural, clinically proven treatment for addressing even the worst cases of uncontrolled belly fat. After seeing the effect that insatiable cravings and weight gain had on my own wife, I've made it my mission to ensure that no one else ever has to suffer like she did. This protocol works, and I'm excited to say that the obscene statistics about our weight are about to change forever. Remember, due to the toxic environment we now live in, our cells are being relentlessly attacked by endocrine disrupting chemicals on a daily basis. This happens no matter where you live on Earth. It is unavoidable. As a result, they predict that nearly 75% of all American adults will be overweight by 2020. Today, things are finally about to change. With Sonia Rhodes' help, we've created a clinically proven and all-natural formula that will allow you to finally melt your belly fat and take back control over your hunger and cravings. With no medications, no exercises, no dieting, and you can start today. And we've called it Leptitox, the one and only all-natural proprietary blend that targets the true cause of your belly fat, leptin resistance. We've sourced all the purest, highest quality, 22 natural detoxifying nutrients and plant extracts that we've spoken about today and put the exact quantities into a small, easy to swallow capsule to take once a day. Every capsule is manufactured here in the US in our FDA approved and GMP good manufacturing practice certified facility under the most sterile, strict, and precise standards. These capsules are vegetarian, non-GMO safe. There are no dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit forming or tolerance forming. Losing weight with Leptitox is so easy to do, a child could do it. Yes, it's more powerful than any diet or exercise on the planet. This formula is not only incredible for your weight, but helps support a healthy heart, brain, and joints, boosts energy levels, and much more. So you'll also be improving your overall health at the same time. And the best part is, there's no need to completely change your diet or starve yourself. Here we are, ready for you to finally get the flat belly and slim body you've been dreaming of, which you deserve. 166,304 people have already transformed their waist size, energy, and lives with Leptitox. Take it now and achieve the same dramatic improvements in your hunger and weight that Grace and they did. It really is that simple. And you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. So if you're ready for something big, something new, something exciting, then it starts right here by you taking a stand and saying, yes, I'm ready for the change that Leptitox can bring into my life. You need to ask yourself, how much is it worth to you to have your friends jealous of the amazing changes you've made to your body, begging you for your secrets? How much is it worth to never feel like you have to deprive yourself of your favorite foods, or to burden your family with worry about your health? To be back in full control over your hunger, imagine that for a second. Really let yourself feel what that would be like, and then tell me, how much would that be worth? $10,000? $5,000? There's one undeniable fact I've learned again and again, that even when you want something so much and know it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, as a man or a woman who spent so much of your life giving and giving to others, sometimes it feels impossible to be selfish and give yourself what you so desperately need. Which is why I'm going to do something kind of risky here. And although Sonia Rhodes recommended I sell a 30-day supply of Leptitox for $997, and my own wife Grace suggested $597, and although it's already helped over 166,304 men and women who would happily pay triple that amount after seeing the results for themselves, this isn't about the money for me. I know what it feels like to watch someone you love lose their health. I know the fear, pain, and helplessness of watching your loved one pile on more and more fat and not being able to do anything to help them. I don't want this for you. I feel blessed to have found this amazing formula, and now I want to share it with you. So I'm not going to ask for $597 or half of that, because the truth is, all I'm trying to do here is cover my costs and keep the website running for as long as I can, so as many people as possible can benefit. The last thing I want is for price to be a factor in your decision. So even though I will soon charge $99 for a bottle of Leptitox, and for most of our customers we've heard from, we saw that a $99 bottle replaces over $300 a month in food you won't be eating anymore, and or medications you may not have to take. You are here watching this presentation and showing me your trust, and since you want the absolute best for yourself and to live the healthiest life possible, you can get a 30-day supply of Leptitox for a simple one-time fee of just $49. Yes, just $49. But before you order, as you've seen in the studies today, the doctors and Sonia Rhodes, who have researched these natural ingredients, recommend you take Leptitox for at least 90 days to ensure you reach your desired weight. That's because if you are over 40 years old and more than 10 pounds overweight, Leptitox needs enough time to work throughout your entire body to get you back into balance and capable of losing weight. So, to guarantee life-changing results, we're going to let you order 3 bottles or 6 bottles at once for a huge savings. And if you do that in the next 30 minutes, you'll also get a special free bonus, which is the final piece of the puzzle. It's called Leptitox Colon Cleanse. Why detoxify your body and not detoxify the overlooked organ that is responsible for your nutrient absorption, energy levels, concentration, and restroom regularity? I couldn't let you order without having every tool you need to feel great and healthy. And that includes your ability to absorb all the special Leptitox nutrients with this once-a-day oral supplement containing a proprietary blend of 10 100% natural ingredients designed to support a healthy colon, such as psyllium husks, bentonite clay, black walnut hull, and apple pectin. You will ensure your colon is detoxed, clean, healthy, and functional, allowing your body to increase absorption of all the amazing nutrients of Leptitox, as well as boosting energy, concentration, and of course, giving you regular and healthy restroom breaks. Call it my special supercharger for your weight loss. So here's the deal. Buy 3 bottles of Leptitox right now and get a 30-day supply of Leptitox Colon Cleanse worth $89 for absolutely free. Better still, buy 6 bottles of Leptitox now and we will gift you a 60-day supply of Leptitox Colon Cleanse worth $178 for free. Plus, we want you to be completely satisfied, so we are even going to ship every order made today, plus the free bonuses to you for free. That's how confident we are that you will love the results that Leptitox has in store for you. Sound good to you? Look below now. Do the right thing for your family and loved ones and choose your package. Once you place your order, you will be taken to a page that looks like this. Then fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Once you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottle of Leptitox will be shipped out for free to your door. And if you are smart and order a 3 or 6 month package, we'll send you your free bottles of Leptitox Colon Cleanse with your order too. And yes, your order today is a one-time payment with no subscriptions or hidden charges. We dislike those as much as you do. Act fast, click below to select your package. Leptitox is only available on this page. It is not available for purchase anywhere else on the internet. And on this exclusive formula. And be warned, bottles of Leptitox are selling very, very fast. And I'd like you to get yours today while stocks last. You're still here, which means your personal bottles are reserved. But if you close this page, you will lose your reserve stock and this opportunity may be gone forever. I hate to say this, the clock is ticking. You don't want to go through what Grace went through. Why would you risk it when the solution is right at your fingertips? Make your choice below right now. And if you're a little skeptical that this can work for you, I completely understand. After all, you've been lied to and manipulated your entire life into believing that diet and exercise are your only choice to target leptin resistance and lose weight. Because, of course, the $80 billion weight loss industry will never tell you that there's a quick, easy, and natural way to burn belly fat and curb hunger. So here's what I'm going to do. To prove to you that this formula works and you have absolutely nothing to worry about, I'm going to give you a 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee. If you don't experience a dramatic improvement in your weight, if you don't see the fat melt off your day by day, if you are not overflowing with energy and enthusiasm as your leptin resistance is targeted and hunger is banished more than any gastric band will ever do, or even if you change your mind for any reason at all, even if you use up the entire bottle, and if you still want to get your money back, it won't be an issue. All you need to do is contact us within 60 days and we will refund you the purchase price right away. That's right, we're giving you a full 2 months to decide, 2 months to test drive this miracle formula. And all you have to do to claim your discount and take advantage of this amazing deal is choose your package below right now. We'll cover 100% of the shipping costs to ship Leptitox immediately out to your doorstep. And if you made the smart decision to get the heavily discounted 3 or 6 month packages, we'll ship your free bottles of Leptitox Colon Cleanse right along with it. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time simple fee. Leptitox is only available for purchase on this page. So choose below right now and then see for yourself how easy getting a taut, firm, flat belly and watching the pounds fall off your body can actually be. How easy it is to target leptin resistance, to take back control over your hunger and feel electric with newfound energy. And remember, your order is 100% protected by my 60-day money-back guarantee. Okay, it's time to take action. You might not know it, but you're at an important crossroads in your life right now. And you really just have 2 options, leading to 2 very different lives. 1, a lifetime of energy and hope and passion for life, where you love your body and are amazed every time you look in the mirror, where you are no longer shackled to diets, to exercise programs, to the fear of further complications. The other, well, the other is just a continuation of the life you have now. So listen closely as I tell you what your 2 options are so you can make the right choice for you. Option number 1, you can choose to do exactly what the mainstream healthcare system want you to do and carry on dieting, exercising, and maybe losing some weight, but having it all come back on and more. Remember, by doing this, you'll never be free to eat what you want. You'll never escape the cycle of dieting and exercise, which was never designed to keep weight loss off for life. It was designed to keep you trapped in the yo-yo effect until the day you die. That's the way weight loss industry system works. It locks you into a lifetime of meal plans and expensive fads. I think you already know what will happen if you do take this option because you've felt it so many times before. That feeling of hopelessness, of being trapped in your body, of feeling yourself getting heavier and more exhausted and more fed up with your struggle, with your weight, and with your body every single day, wondering why it's so hard for you to get in shape and stay in shape, or feeling guilty because you aren't spending hours and hours at the gym every week, pedaling as fast as you can, but not getting anywhere at all. I know you don't want that. And remember, the average American will spend $111,500 in their attempt to lose weight over their lifetime. That's the financial cost of doing nothing. The human cost is far greater. Is that really a risk you want to take to save a few dollars? Truth is, I know you are sick of seeing your ugly belly fat staring at you every time you look in the mirror, or pretending it doesn't bother you and that you're okay with the body you have right now, of yearning to know what it's like to have power and control and energy like you did when you were a kid. Which is why I want you to take a second here and seriously consider taking option number 2. And let's face it, it's the only option you have. Investing in a one-time payment in Leptitox today so you can put my formula to the test completely risk-free for 60 days, and just imagine the difference this could make to your life. No more fear over worsening health. No more feeling guilt or shame over another failed diet or exercise plan. No more worrying about what you eat or what others think of what you eat. No more feeling heavy and feeling disgust at how you look in the mirror or what your partner thinks about you. No more counting calories or tracking food. In a lot of ways, it's the easier road because all it takes on your part is deciding you love yourself enough to say, yes, right now, simply choose your package below. Enter your payment information on our secure order form right now before life gets in the way, and claim your spot in the Leptitox family. Remember, every 3 and 6 month package comes with a free 1 or 2 month supply of our pioneering Leptitox Colon Cleanse formula worth $89 a bottle, and every order comes with 100% free shipping, no matter where you live. Order below, experience firsthand everything I've talked about in this video, and quite a few surprises I haven't even mentioned, but I can't wait for you to see. Learn the simple tested method that saved my beautiful wife, Grace, from leptin resistance and an early grave. Learn the secret to total hunger control, a flat belly and a fit, healthy body that has been kept from you for so long. And imagine for a moment how that would feel. The feeling you have when the weight is dropping off and you could fit in the jeans you haven't filled into for the past decade. The feeling when your wife or husband looks at you with lust, with desire again, just as they used to in the past. Imagine yourself rolling out of bed, feeling light and strong for the first time in your life. Your belly will be flat and your joints will feel as if they have been freshly lubricated. You'll look and feel younger than ever before, and you will find yourself moving with the vigor and strength of a person half your age. You will support a healthy heart and arteries, and your sex drive will return as your hormones come back into balance, which will mean you're able to spend quality time with your children and watch your grandchildren grow up, get married, and have kids of their own. More than 166,304 Americans have burnt away pounds of stubborn toxic fat. This is your chance to join them, but time is running out. So make the right decision. Make the only decision you can make, both for yourself and your family. Hit the button below and put Leptitox to the test, completely risk-free for a full 60 days, and start enjoying your precious life the way it was meant to be enjoyed. The only place you can purchase Leptitox is right here on this page. So click on the order button below, and I'll see you on the other side. Hey, still here? Great. I wanted to take a second to answer some of the most common questions I get about Leptitox, because I want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with your decision. So, number one is Leptitox right for me? I get this question a lot, and the answer is always the same. Do you have stored body fat that you have tried to get rid of in the past, but nothing's worked? Because if that's you, then Leptitox is absolutely the right choice. As we talked about earlier, the real problem with not being able to lose body fat is that worldwide endocrine disrupting chemicals are forcing your brain to ignore leptin, the full hormone, and thus you are not feeling full when you're supposed to. Leptitox will help you with that. Is Leptitox safe? Leptitox has been taken by thousands of folks with no reported side effects. The only side effect is having to spend money on new, tight-fitting, sexy clothing, or cancel your gym membership. And Leptitox is a lot safer than starvation diets or hours of high-intensity cardio at the gym, because you are restoring your body's natural leptin and hunger response rather than disrupting it further. Addressing leptin resistance is the single most important thing you can do right now for long-lasting results now and into old age. Leptitox is safer than your daily multivitamin. It has natural ingredients, and they're extremely high quality, manufactured at an FDA-inspected state-of-the-art facility using the latest equipment, and then on top of that, they're put through additional third-party inspections and quality control so you can rest assured that Leptitox is safe. And as always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, I advise you to show a bottle of this to your doctor before you take it, just to be safe. When should I take Leptitox? For best results, take 2 capsules with a big glass of water in the afternoon. For additional energy and weight loss support, Leptitox is going to work with your body to naturally adjust you back into a healthy rhythm. And it's going to leave you energized, well rested, and just overall enjoying life again. What if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me more about the guarantee? I'm confident that Leptitox will give you the powerful support you need to target leptin resistance. But I also know that no people's bodies work the exact same way. So a small number of people might find it doesn't give them all of the benefits they were looking for. And that's why every single bottle of Leptitox comes with my personal 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're unsatisfied with your results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. What if I lose weight too fast? This is actually a really interesting question that I get asked sometimes. The results that we've highlighted today are incredible, and if you do lose weight too fast, I would suggest taking Leptitox every second day rather than every day. And always consult with your doctor. Leptitox is an extremely powerful remedy. Even with that in mind, we always want to advise you to lose weight at a healthy, steady pace. Now, I know it can be exciting to see results that you've been waiting for so long, and then you want to push yourself harder. But it's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle in addition to taking Leptitox. And that way, you're going to get the best long-term results. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your success story, and I want to thank you for sticking around and hearing about this incredible new tool in your weight loss journey. I hope I've answered any of your remaining questions, and by this time, I hope I'm giving you the confidence to order your own supply of Leptitox today. You can go ahead and do that by just choosing your package below and completing your Leptitox order now. Remember, shipping is 100% free. And also, I do want to say I personally recommend our most popular 3 or 6 bottle package for the best value. And those come with 1 or 2 free bottles of our proprietary formula Leptitox Colon Cleanse. So just go ahead and click the button below. Complete your checkout, and I'll be talking to you soon.